Tony and Emmy-nominated actress you know from shows such as The Gilded Age, The Leftovers, and Fargo, and films like Widows and the Ghostbusters franchise. She stars in His Three Daughters, which is in theaters this Friday and available to stream on Netflix September 20th. Let's take a look.
How do you like the food?
What's that?
Food. The food that I made. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I like the food that you made. Thank you for making the food that you made. The food you made tastes good. So I got a parlay going. I'm on the final team. That's why I'm looking at my phone. I am working.
You mean you're watching a game that you bet on?
Yeah, I bet on 4 won 3, so $10 to make 270.
You think watching will change its outcome?
Please welcome back to the show, Carrie Coon, everybody. Welcome back.
Thank you. 7 years.
7 years since
What
you've
have I
here.
been not doing?
What?
That you didn't invite
What
me
is
back?
going on in your life that you weren't here?
What was going on? Well, the pandemic. Of
The
course.
pandemic happened.
We had pandemic babies.
We both had
Not
pandemic-
we didn't have a pandemic.
Yes,
baby.
I had a.
Right. That's
That would be
confusing.
you know
That
what?
would be-
If we did, this would be such a fun way to say it.
yeah.
Like
We have an
that by
announcement.
accident. And I'm like,
Don't say it, not right now.
this congratulations on your nomination
Thank you so
for the
much.
Gilded Age.
Thank
It's really
you.
wonderful.
Yeah. It's
And
exciting.
you're back in production on season 3.
We are.
And it's a
hard.
fantastic cast. And it's a very,
It is.
a New York show is always thrilling because you keep seeing the New York actors that you've come to
Yes.
appreciate as our local legends.
Nerdy theater camp. Yes.
Nerdy theater.
It
You
is
just see
rather
all your
Broadway bingo.
friends.
We have more Broadway bingo coming up for you in season 3.
Very
So
exciting.
It's a hoot. Yeah, we love it.
This is exciting. You received an Emmy nomination. Your husband, Tracy Letts, also received an Emmy nomination for his work in Winning Time.
He did.
That's very exciting.
Yes, it was exciting. Thank you. He didn't know.
He did not know. This is very Broadway of him. I've always
Yes.
such a playwright thing to not know.
Yes, he's above it all. My parents were visiting, and my brother and my sister-in-law and their 2 babies, and we were having a harrowing morning. My breakfast was sitting on the counter, and I hadn't eaten, and I was shaking. I was hypoglycemic. And I got my sister-in-law said, "Your phone's ringing," and I picked it up. And it was Jacob Fenton, my agent. He said, "Congratulations." And I was like, "For what?" and then my husband had been watching the broadcast in a hair and makeup chair in the city. And he saw that I got nominated. He saw the show got nominated. And he turned it off because he's very polite.
Yeah.
And then I got a text saying he got a nomination. So I called him with my son on my lap in our pajamas, like, "Oh no, you got one too. We have to go to the Emmys. You know, you have to sit through the Creative Arts Emmys, which are just, it's an exercise in, stamina, because
Yeah.
they're very long.
Very
and
long.
Lovely. We love to reward those artisans for everything. And so I'll just give him some snacks, and I can't go with him.
Oh no.
I wish they were the same weekend, but yeah.
Right, so you're
he
in-
needs a date to the
Oh.
Emmys if anyone's
Do you want to just
around.
throw that out as well?
Yeah, great. I had Steph's baby, and now my husband needs a date to the Emmys. This
That's
is how
the
rumors
least.
get
This is
started.
the least you could do for him.
You're right. To make it up, I'll
Yeah.
make it up to you, babe.
It is very exciting, and I want to ask you just had your wedding anniversary because I know
did.
because I just had mine and I think I'm a day after you.
Yes. Well,
We-
we backdated ours one day because it was kind of illegal, but that's not
Oh,
here nor there.
interesting.
But anyway, go on.
Why everything you say is a mystery?
How do you think I've maintained this career for
we had an
43
illegal
years?
wedding.
And
also, by the way, what kind of law did you break that you could backdate it a day and you're like,
Well,
we good?
Our registration was over. I told you this story before,
Yeah.
but and then she had to cheat the date.
All right.
But on my wedding, I don't know what you guys did, but I woke up that morning and Tracy was like, "Happy anniversary." And I was like, "Oh yeah." Well, that day I was packing, I was doing fittings. He was getting a tux fitted. I had the kids in the bathtub. I took a shower. The kitchen was a mess, and I got in a car and came to London. And the kids were literally running
You
naked
drove
in the
to
yard.
London?
And then I drove across the ocean to London. I know, it's an extraordinary life.
I fully forgot. My wife and I both forgot it was our anniversary this year.
That's what happened.
Last year was
You're a
10,
freak.
and we were like, we dialed in on 10, and we had and then it was like fully at like 2 in the afternoon.
You were like,
Yeah. She was holding a tennis racket and said, "Hey, happy anniversary," and tried to high-five me with a tennis racket.
"Aw, that's
And I was
so
like, oh my
charming."
God.
I remember,
That's
I think
so romantic.
One year, I think last year, there were flowers that came to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, some mysterious boyfriend is sending me flowers. And then my husband was like, "Happy anniversary." I was like, oh, of course it was you. I mean, it's just what happens. What happens in this life that I just can't?
It's true. If my wife got flowers, the last person she would think it was from is me.
Why is that?
This is a fantastic film. It takes place
you.
in an apartment in New York
Yep.
City. It feels at times like a wonderfully written play. And you were two of our favorites, Natasha Lyonne and Elizabeth Olsen.
love them. I
And
truly
did it
love
feel
them.
like performing?
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah.
Did it feel like you were performing?
Well, I mean, it's a very dialogue-forward film, I would say. So there was a lot of preparation. But the thing that felt most theatrical about it is that we told the story in order. I mean, we shot the story in order. And I don't know how many people know this, but we never shoot in order in TV and film. I mean, sometimes we shoot from 2 or 3 episodes in a day, and you're just like, are we fighting right now? What is happening? You have no idea what's going on. And so we actually shot it in the order in which it unfolds, and you just learn so much. So the ending was able to surprise all of us because at that point we shot it in 3 weeks. No, not even 14 days. I think 14 days. I know, incredible. So we had a little bit of rehearsal, and then so by the time we got to the end of the movie, we had lived through the whole story, and then we were able to really sit inside of that ending together. And it's just really we just don't get to work that way. So it was very special.
Well, I think the real contrast to what you're describing is the last time you collaborated with Elizabeth Olsen was in Avengers.
Collaboration is a strong word.
And you know, spoiler alert, she kills you.
Yeah.
But like did you even work with her?
No.
So you guys aren't
I
even...
never met her. I didn't really know who was killing me. I think...
By the way, you're such a good actor because when I saw the scene, I'm like, she knows who's killing her.
Absolutely. I know. Thank you for that. No, I think I was alone for 6 hours in a conference room. You know, they have a harness with a camera, so you're making all the faces and grunting and doing all the things.
So they
I didn't know
they
how it
don't
would be
shoot the
live.
Avengers movies in order from beginning to...
Say no. No. For 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years of being in order. No, but I mean, I'm so glad she killed me. I so
that's so
respect
sweet.
her. And if someone's going to kill me, it might as well be Liz
Oh,
Olsen.
it might as well. She's so good at killing.
She's really amazing. She is extraordinary. They're extraordinary in this film, both of them. I mean, Natasha's not capable of... She's just so truthful in this role, and she's relentlessly in pursuit of that in her work. And Lizzie is just lit from within, and I just loved watching them, and I love hearing them talk about the film and talk about the process, and I just feel so lucky I got to work with them.
It's a very special film, and I want to finish by saying there's something else I'm very excited about, which is, and I know you can't say much about it, but White Lotus Season 3, you're going to be in it. I'm very excited.
Thank you. Me too.
And it's also, you know, Mike White has a real knack for putting together casts of people that are very special at their craft.
Yes, I think so. And it's a very big cast this year, an international cast. And, you know, Thailand, I can't say anything about the story. They're watching me all the time.
Yeah.
But it was really challenging. I mean, there was a night where one of my friends had to do a big scene. It was her coverage for a scene. And first, there was a berry tree, and it only fruits 1 week out of the year. And that was the week we were shooting under it. And so it was dropping these berries on our costumes and on the table, so that was a nightmare. And then the cicadas started, and they were so deafening we couldn't shoot during the cicadas. And they stopped, and we were like, okay, let's roll sound. And then the frogs started, and we were like, this is biblical, this is impossible. And this poor actress is just like trying so hard to keep it together to do her part. And then finally the frogs calmed down, and then there were elephants roaring in an elephant preserve, and then you're just like, I give up.
Well, the thing that's nice about it is it does seem like each creature is respectful of the other creature
I think
finishing.
that's true. Yes.
You know, the frogs are like,
It's a very Buddhist
we'll have our
country.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They give grace to each other, yeah.
And it is, I will also say, you know, not to point the finger, I feel like if you're shooting next to an elephant preserve,
That's what you get.
you're gonna hear a couple
I agree.
elephants,
Yeah,
you know.
they were there first.
They were there first,
Yeah.
man. We're just trying to preserve them, you know. Thank you so much for being here. It's
Thanks
such a
for
pleasure to
having
see
me.
you. Congratulations, everyone. His Three Daughters will be in theaters September 6th and available to stream on Netflix September 20th. We'll be right back with more later.